today's video, we'll be starting off with $0, a truck, and the clothes on my back. The challenge is that I build my own farm completely from scratch. Will the locals around the town be able to help me out to help me succeed, or will I fail? Stay tuned to find out. And if you do enjoy content like this, please be sure to subscribe, leave a like, and a comment always helps. Let's get after it. Well guys, here we are. So, this is the part of land that we got. I took every little bit of savings that I had, everything that I had saved up, and I completely moved all the way out here to what I'm going to call is the last frontier. There is like minimal fields here, lots of trees for sure, but absolutely nothing here. And as you guys can see, I have $0, but we have enough wide open space here to be able to create our own farm, build it from scratch. We can go through, cut hay, do whatever we need to do to get done in here. So basically we have like our little own Survivor Valley going on here. We have wide open fields, bushes, and lots of trees. But I need to get heading into town, and I'm going to see if I can create some social skills with the people around me and see if I can get some connections to find out if I can find some work. So just now leaving town, and I just got done being at the coffee shop. I was talking to a pretty cool guy, a farmer around where I am at currently. His name is Jim. He said that he had some chores for me to do, so as long as I get those chores done, he said he would pay me. He didn't exactly say how much, but I got a couple chores to do, and he said that there were some extra bales laying around at his house that I could load them up, sell them, and then make the profit off of whatever they had left. So I'm gonna go ahead into his farm if I could find it. It's kind of a very dense forest back here, so hopefully I don't get lost on the way to try to find his farm. I think we're just getting ready to roll up on his place right here. He did say that he had a cattle barn, but we would know his place by the flag and the windmill. So I do think this is actually a pretty nice little spot he's got going on here. So we're gonna get pulled off here real to the side, and we're gonna get the truck shut off real quick. By the way, truck is looking very messed up, dirty, got a lot of scratches. This thing's probably not gonna last me too much longer. But let's take a look around here at Jim's setup and what he's got going on here. It looks like he's pretty good off for himself. He's just a little frontier farmer. Well, I would say a frontier rancher. I don't know exactly what he's got for cattle, but first off, he's got some pretty decent equipment. Pretty clean, actually. Doesn't even look like he really even uses it. He's got a 2520 John Deere diesel, of course, and he's got himself a 863 Bobcat turbo, Kelly Ryan feed wagon, water wagon. It's a hay buster. Yeah, hay buster 2660, and he's got himself a 535 John Deere round baler, and he also has himself a gooseneck trailer. That's actually pretty nice. I wonder if this is what I can load the bales up on. But he did say that he did have some cattle over here, so we're going to go over here and take a look real quick. And it looks like he's got about 60 head of cattle over here, and he left his gate open. Well, let's get this shut for him before his cows decide to run out, and then we have bigger problems on our hands. But it has been a while since I've actually ran a Bobcat before, so this is going to be a little bit of a learning process for myself. I think I still have it though. Looks like the skid steer can actually handle this bale. But we're going to get this dropped here in the feed wagon. I think. Maybe. And now that we got the feed wagon all filled up with hay and straw, so that way these cattle can get some feed in them, I'm going to head over here to the barn real quick. I'm going to get off this tractor, and I'm going to get these doors open. Look around, make sure there's no cattle preparing to make the greatest escape. And we should be able to head inside here real quick and get these cattle all fed. Whoops. Sorry, Jim. But there we go. We are getting the cattle fed here real quick. This shouldn't take more than probably a couple minutes. And then once we get these cattle fed, we're going to get this tractor parked, get this feeder wagon or this Kelly Ryan unhooked and parked back into the barn. And then we are going to start getting these bales loaded up. So now that we got the pickup hooked up to the trailer, we can go ahead and get ourselves swung around here real quick. I don't know what happened to this bale pile. I might have bumped into it and messed a little bit of these bales up. But we should be good to stab a bale here real quick, get it lifted up, and we should be able to start this loading process. I don't know if I will be able to get too high on stacking these bales up, but I think we should be pretty good. Now let's see if I have the expertise level to be able to put these bales on here perfectly without messing them up. I think I still have it. Might have to move them around a little bit just to make sure that they all fit on here. So while we were getting these couple of bales all loaded up, Jim went ahead and gave me a call on my landline phone that is attached to my left pocket, and he said that once I get all these bales loaded up and taken out of here, or at least what I could fit on this trailer, he said that it is a good time to go along and he said that he wanted some of the grass mowed around the farm, and he wanted some of these trees cleaned up. So once I get all these bales loaded up and get these taken to the sell point and get these sold to figure out exactly how much money I'm going to make, then I guess I can get that taken care of. I would like to see what equipment I can get, so that way I can actually start working on getting some work done on my farm to begin with. But for right now, I think helping Jim out is going to be a pretty good passive sense of income. That way we have some way to keep ourselves afloat so we don't immediately fail on this farm. Now that we got everything loaded, I'm going to go through and check these ratchet straps real quick. I know that I tightened them down and said the famous words that, well, that ain't going to go nowhere, but I'm not going to say that 1, 2, 3, 12 times, or 9 times. But I think these should all be pretty good. These bales should hold. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 bales on this gooseneck trailer, so I think we should be good. And on the way to go get these bales sold, I couldn't help but keep thinking that what would happen if this truck was to just all of a sudden just quit. I don't know what I would do, and financially, I don't know if I'd be able to recover. I decided to take it easy and drive through the grass because that was always good for my suspension. But we arrived at the sale barn safely to get these bales sold, went ahead and got them offloaded, and before we could waste any more time, started making our way back to Jim's farm. Now on the way back, I couldn't help but keep thinking where I could find a car wash to get my pickup cleaned up, and also what kind of equipment I was going to be using for my farm. On the way there, I passed a local Case IH dealer, and I thought to myself, maybe they will have some good equipment for us to use. And before I knew it, I was already up the driveway, and I was already at Jim's farm. So I went ahead and got the 2520 all hooked up to our New Holland 116 haybine here, or 11.6 haybine. And as you guys can see, I now have $9,733 in my bank account. So those bales made us a decent amount of money. Boy, it's a heat wave out here. I gotta dump my head in this water tank here real quick. But I would go ahead and say, all in all, today so far has been a pretty successful and pretty good day. Right now, I'm gonna go through and I need to find a good place to start. I think he said that he wanted this open field area basically down to at least, he said some tall tree. But first, let's see if I even remember how to turn on one of these haybines here real quick. I think if I hit the hydraulic, okay, or the PTO, not the hydraulic. Really do hope that Jim does appreciate the amount of work that I'm going to be doing for him. I think this is actually kind of cool, and this should be a great experience for me. I do hope that Jim does realize that I am taking time out of my day to actually be able to help him, but then again, he is also paying me, so in the end of it, I think he thinks that he's doing me a favor, and I do agree that he's actually helping me out a considerable amount. I just really hope that it doesn't get any hotter, because this is an open air cab tractor, or an open cab tractor, and man, it's August. The August heat is really starting to get to me. I think the heat's trying to get to me so much that, well, I think I see some orange in that bush. Maybe I'm just seeing some things, but I don't know. Wait, actually, hold on. No, it's not a bush. This is an old Alice Chalmers WD-45. I wonder how long this has been sitting here. I should probably give Jim a call on this and ask him some questions. Other than the paint and how dirty it is, it looks to be in some pretty good shape. I wonder if it even still runs. But before we get into giving Jim too many phone calls and bothering him and asking too many questions about his farm, I think we should be able to get this work done for him, so that way he has a little bit of appreciation for us and the work that we are bringing to the table for him. And then I'm going to go ahead and give him a call after I get finished.
Try to change your mind, trying to save your time, in case you're thinking about breaking out the bucket list. Girl, you can skip this funny business, 'cause up there it's complicated and overrated. Down here everything is understated. That's alright by me. I got everything that I need, but there is breakneck paycheck, rat race. What's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back
Alright, so we made it back to Jim's farm, and we made a pretty good time out of getting all that hay done, or at least all of it cut for right now anyway. But I got off the phone with Jim, and well, he said that that Alice has been sitting there for the better bit of probably like 20-25 years. So, well, I forgot to get my tailgate down. 1 second. And basically, what he was saying is that if I can get it running, then that he would get it sold to me for basically pennies on the dollar. He said probably a couple $100 because it's got no use to him. So, me being excited about the situation, I got this field done and cut as fast as I possibly could. And I ran into town and I bought myself this 4 bottom plow. So we spent $4,390, as you guys can see. And I bought myself a couple of filters and some new fluids for this Alice Chalmers. So I'm going to grab those real quick. And I'm going to come over here and get them all swapped over. And I'm going to set them down on the ground real quick. And I'm going to see if we can get this tractor to turn over. Alright, so it sounds like it wants to start. I think it just needs a little bit of new fuel in it, some new oil. So we're going to go along here and we're going to get those filters swapped out. They look pretty corroded on there. So we're going to get those changed out and maybe hook the jumper cables up, give the battery a little bit of a charge, get some new fluid and some new fuel in here. And there you go. For $400, we now have ourselves a running Alice Chalmers WD-45. And I got it parked over here. And I asked Jim, and I went ahead and I got the trailer hooked up so that way we can get this transported back to where our location is at, because this thing only goes like, at best, I'd say probably 11 miles an hour. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing cleaned up real quick. There we go. That's a lot better. Almost good as new. And while we're at it, we're just going to get our pickup cleaned up as well. Make it look good as new. Except for the scratches, we can't really fix that. Let's try not to get any of this paint peeled off. And just like that, other than the paint, we're back to looking about as good as new. But we are going to go ahead and get this old Johnny Popper loaded up. Let's see, kind of get ourselves matched up here. Kind of back up a little bit straight. Hopefully this plow clears the trailer and I don't have to worry about too much. Oh yeah, there we go. Now that we got everything loaded up, let's get heading back to the farm. Now that we got ourselves offloaded here, I'm kind of thinking that, well, probably, yeah, I'm thinking right here is probably about as good a spot as any. And, well, that's mostly because I don't really have much places to really restrict me from really going anywhere. So, kind of think, like, you know, this, well, we'll back up just a little bit. Alright, we're going to start right here. So, just far enough away from the road and far enough to go down. We're not going to go all the way down. We'll probably go about halfway because I kind of want to split things into, like, multiple fields or create a road that goes down through here. So, let's get this plow put down here. Alright, we're moving dirt. But like I was saying, I kind of think that I would want to put like another roadway going down here in between the field and the edge of the tree line over there. And then also on the backside, maybe leave an area to put like a hay barn, or future plans, maybe putting cattle. I don't know yet. I still got a lot to go, and I still got a long ways to go with this. We are not moving that much dirt that fast, so I can't really do anything too huge. But basically what we're going to be focusing on is I'm just going to go ahead and get the basic outline around this field and make sure that we know exactly what kind of boundaries, limits we're going to be staying in for our first field. And then once I get all that complete, we'll be able to go along, get everything done on the inside, and then hopefully here soon we should have our first field done.
You. This love, it was a breakthrough. For the rest of our days, we'll be everything we want to be.
And I'm really starting to feel like them old boys back in like the 50s and the 60s right now. Open cab tractor, little to no horsepower, and a 4-bottom plow to go on top of it just to make my day even better. But I'd say for the most part, I mean, I feel like we're doing pretty good, you know, making some pretty good ground, literally. We do have like a perfect square field going on, so I mean it is a little little excess for, I guess, the size of the plow we have. So I'm going to be at this for quite some time. Now nobody can say to me, like, hey, you got soft hands. No, I'm living in the 21st century using 20th century equipment. I think I got the hands to prove that I can work. But I think once this field gets done getting plowed, I think what we'll do tomorrow or the next day, depending on how long this takes me to get this plowed, because I mean at this rate it's already 3 o'clock and not even a quarter of the way done. And of course I might be able to borrow Jim's windrower to see if we get some of the grass that we have around here cut. That way we can have a little bit of a passive income. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep on chugging along here, get this field finished out today, and we will see what happens in the next coming days. But for right now, hey, if you guys did enjoy this video, please don't be afraid to smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace!